Thank you for everyone that's joining right now. I've been super excited to have this opportunity to interview Dori Soukup, who you all will probably know very, very well. And I've been excited because she has launched a very special book, which I hope you've all got a copy of. And now the book is about how to make millions with your medical spa. Now, who doesn't want to make millions, right? So it's, exactly. So it's your steps to implementing a proven business model and delivering, a great guest experience. So, Dori, I'm super excited to interview you. I know I've got a lot of questions about the book after reading it, and I hope it's going to be a great interview where everyone else that hasn't read it will get a really sort of good understanding of all the great golden nuggets that they can take away from it. But just before we start, just to give you guys a little bit of a background, if you don't know Dori, Dori Soukup is a global speaker, a 3-time author, and a 7-figure business advisor and the CEO of InSPAration Management. Dori and her firm specialize in developing innovative, effective business models to ensure that the medical spa leaders experience exponential growth and profits. Now, for 19 years, and now Dori and her team work hard on perfecting all the business tools they provide industry members. Their model includes the most essential principles. They call it the 4 S's, what each business must have. Now, system, structure, strategies, and solutions, which equal to the 5th S, which we all want, and it's success. So I'm super excited, Dori. Let's get started. But just first question, it's a big achievement to be able to write a book as thick as this. So just tell me about your journey. That's it's a huge achievement.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you, Stephen. Always good to see you. And yes, I'm very driven and been doing this, like you said, for 19, almost 20 years. And I felt an obligation to take what I've learned over 2 decades and put it in a book to where people can access that knowledge and be able to improve their lifestyle, improve their business, have less stress, be happier, and deserve to live the life that they really want to live. So that's really what drove me. Like you mentioned, it's my 3rd book. Actually, I'm working also on a 4th one. But I love reading and I love writing. Those are probably my 2 favorite things to do, developing programs. So when I see that something works, I can't help but want to share it with everybody so I can benefit the industry and give back to not only our clients, but really the whole industry as a whole. So that's really what drove me to write it.
Well, I've really enjoyed, and I still enjoy watching all of your great webinars and all the interviews that you do. And I know how organized you are with, putting out consistent content. So well done you on that. And again, I just know I haven't written a book myself, but produced a lot of television shows, as you know, had my own talk show for 7 or 8 years. And having to just put together those shows is a lot of work. And but the thing, what I do like about this book, again, how to make millions within your medical spa, the way you've really structured the book out is fantastic. So if I just talk about the 5 different structures, and if we can jump in and talk about each one of those sections, maybe, don't give away too much, but just give away one little golden nugget because I want everyone to read it because it is really simple, easy to read, and as I say, really invaluable. So the sections that we're going to cover, is we've got financial health, marketing for success, generating more sales, building a high-performance team, and there's numerous chapters within each one of those sections. And I know you had that bonus chapter, which is the 10 myths and realities of opening a medical spa as well. So, so much good stuff. So everyone, make sure, and you're going to find out how to actually order this book as well at the end of this webinar. But for anyone that does jump off early, Dori, how do people actually purchase the book?
So ever since the coronavirus hit, we actually reduced the price of the book on Amazon to make it only $1. We actually want to give it away for free. But the reason we did it $1 on Amazon is because we would like people to go back and leave a review. Because if you don't buy the book, then you can't go and leave a review. So we basically are giving it away, and we want people to just benefit from it. So that's one way to get it. And then the other way to get it is they can go to the website, excuse me, InSPArationManagement.com, and right from the home page, they can download actually a totally complimentary electronic copy, or they can order a hard copy as well. So basically we use it as a way really to give back to the community. I didn't write the book to make money with the book. I write books to spread the knowledge so everybody can elevate their success. We make money other ways, Stephen.
Yeah, sure. No, absolutely. Look, and let's delve into it. Just to give people a little bit of my background. Originally from New Zealand, but lived in England for 16 years, where I got into the medical aesthetics sector, and really been working with med spas and plastic surgery practices that whole time for 16 years, and really focused over the last 10 years in education and training. That's why me and Dori get on so well. And, we've actually, for about 8 years, we have probably audited, sent in secret shoppers to probably about 2,000 different med spas and plastic surgery practices. So, we've got a lot of great insights, and that's why Dori and myself have sort of teamed up to really give you guys a lot of value, but not just from the US, from all over the globe, in terms of what works, what doesn't, and just some of the really golden nuggets of those practices that are really thriving, especially in today's, more of a tricky economic climate. So that really brings me on to the first section of your book, Dori, and it's the financial health. Just how important is it for businesses, whether they're starting up or they've already been in operation for a couple of years, but haven't really sort of planned out, put a business plan together to really give them and their staff focus. So how important is that?
Yes. And what's funny about that, Stephen, is we get a lot of calls from from whether they're physicians or entrepreneurs that want to open up a medical spa. And the one thing we notice over and over is the lack of clarity on first why they want to do it, and then second is how they're going to do it. So we have that segment of the population, and then we have people who are already in business and they just barely are making it. They're not making the profits that they really need to. And the reason those two different segments exist is because there's definitely a desire for them to want to succeed. But the problem that they miss out on is that financial planning and the business plan that you just mentioned. And the sad thing is a lot of people that are in business already, they do the business plan maybe when they first get started, and then they forget about it. Well, I do a business plan every year for my business, and I highly recommend doing that as an entrepreneur or as a physician. So the business plan is not just meant when you get started. You should be fine-tuning and innovating and adapting to whatever situation we're in now. So you really need to have a business plan in writing, whether you are brand new or whether you already been in existence. And part of that business plan should definitely include that financial health. Like, how are we going to make money? How are we going to succeed? And it's amazing to me, Stephen, that so many people spend more time picking out a laser, picking out a product line, picking out what the paint color on the wall is going to be, rather than focusing, okay, once I'm open, how am I going to make money?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is something that we definitely point out and make sure that they do have that financial plan, not just an overall business plan, but that financial plan on how we are going to generate revenue and how we're going to succeed.
Look, and I think, some of the successes that I see with other, med spas, really using their business plan is to sort of get their team involved right from, say it's at the beginning of the year, and share some of those key performance indicators from the business plan with their employees. So everyone really knows and is focused on where the business is going. You don't have to reveal all of the statistics on it, but it's all the financials, but really it's a great opportunity to get everyone refocused right for the year ahead. And I think now with this whole situation that's been going on with COVID, I think it probably is a good time to sort of reflect and get back with the team, regroup, and look at, you know, new goals and strategies moving forward.
Yeah, this reminds me of one time I speak all over, and one gentleman, actually he's a physician in Vegas, actually in your area, Stephen, and he comes up to me after I finished my talk, and he's like, yeah, I'm a plastic surgeon. I want to open up a medical spa. We started talking, and I said, oh, that's great. So excited for you. Congratulations. I said, do you have a business plan yet? And he's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, that's great. He's like, yeah, it's all in my head.
Yeah,
so,
that's quite common.
So in your head does not work.
Right.
You got to have it in writing so you can share it with the team and be able to share the vision of where you want to go so everyone can help you get there.
That's right. No, absolutely. So important. Look, and step one, you know, it's all about putting together that business plan. You cover all of the different elements that, you know, a business owner should think about putting in that business plan, but then really moving into the second part of that book. And it talks about marketing for success. And we all know how important marketing is for our business. You know, there's lots of different platforms that are out there, whether it's digital, print, television, radio, but it's really like, how do we differentiate ourselves? And today, even more, how do we really put ourselves out there rather than going down the price war scenario of what everyone else is doing and dropping our prices? How do we differentiate ourselves? So what's your feeling on that? What's
we teach something called authority marketing, and you hit it on the head, Stephen. Differentiation is number one in marketing, because here are the facts. There is no shortage of anything these days. People have everything in the palm of their hands. So when I'm going to search for a place for Botox or fillers or body contour or whatever, I'm going to have it right here. I'm going to look, and I'm going to have a bunch of websites that are going to come up. I'm going to start clicking. And the sad thing, I want to advise everybody watching us today to go do that and go from one website to another to another. It's so hard to find differentiation. Everybody copies everybody. Everybody does the same thing. Well, my thing is to definitely focus on what not everybody else is doing and do your own thing. And part of the things that we teach with authority marketing is to truly position themselves as experts, to be able to separate themselves from everybody else. And one of my favorite ways, which I practice, that's why I've written 3 books, that's to become a published author. Because if I'm looking for a physician or I'm looking for a medical spa, and I come to that page, that web page, and I see that they've written a book, they speak, they add value to the community, they have before and after pictures that are real, not just whatever any laser company gives you, case studies, they have videos that are engaging. So if I have all these things on the website, those are all points of differentiation. But if you're just doing the same stock images, that's the other thing that drives me crazy, Stephen, is you go from one website to another. They're all using the same pictures. Yep. So use your own pictures. It is so important to really show these points of differentiation. And even the language that you use. I just did a mastermind. We call it a Brewing Brilliance mastermind webinar just a couple of days ago. And we're doing a whole brand new series about marketing. And one of the things I was focusing on with them during this one webinar is the words that we use to describe ourselves and the language that we use to describe our treatments. It's so important. So I gave everybody the idea to go shop the competition, see what words and language they're using, and then come up with something totally different. You want to have like few phrases that you use all the time that you want to connect with your consumers with, to have them in their mind so they know if something comes from you to me, I know that that's you. I know the message that you're trying to send me. And that's so powerful. That is the key to having differentiation, to stick out and become a magnet, Stephen, because marketing is so complicated. There's so much noise out there right now. So what we want is to be able to make it so easy for them to choose us. So the decision is a no-brainer. They should not choose anyone else except you. And when you have those differentiations, it's like night and day. Big, big difference.
Yeah, that's right. Look, one of the things I've always presented on for years, and it's I practice what I preach, right? The same with you, is marketing with personality. And it's exactly like authority marketing. How I managed to get to where I was with my television side and, still writing blogs, doing expert, comments in magazines and newspapers. I do radio all the time, is putting yourself out there as an expert. And, there's different ways. When we talk to a lot of practitioners, some of them are not comfortable in having their picture plastered everywhere. Like you probably saw on MyFaceMyBody or the Global Virtual Aesthetics Summit, MyFaceMyBody, really I'm the face of that. But then as I've launched new products, I haven't really put myself out there, but I've used other spokespeople to really represent my brand. So when you're thinking about this, doesn't necessarily have to be you, but you might have typical clients. It may be a woman in their 40s, or it could be a male in their 20s. So maybe use those types of images, or if they're real patients. I've seen some amazing clinic websites where they've actually used real life patients and they do a photo shoot with them having fun and putting that on the website to attract that. And that's what, again, we call marketing with personality. But if you want to become an authority and get invited to do expert comments, do speaking engagements, do great interviews like Dori does with regards to interviews on webinars, then you really do need to put yourself out. And I think it's important. And in the book, you cover a lot about that. And again, I learned a lot from reading that section. So really, really good.
One thing I'd like to let them know, because writing a book is really not as complicated as you think it is. It's just a matter of dedicating yourself. Actually, we're going to do, using your platform, Stephen, we're going to do a book seminar. We usually do it in person. It's usually a 2-day seminar, but we call it Become Published. And we actually help physicians become published. We've done it. We have over 100 people that publish their books already. So if they're interested in becoming that expert that they are and show themselves as the expert because they have their name on a book, I would advise you to go look into the Write Your Book in 1 Weekend and Become Published. And that way I can help you write your book and you'll be able to use it to generate leads. I was just running my numbers, Stephen. I really need to share this. So on our website, when you go, you can take the book, right? Opt in to get the book. From January until July, we've had over 5,600 people request my book. People that actually gave us their information to get the book. And I didn't have to pay a penny for that. 5,600 leads. That's how powerful that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's really great. Well, that really sort of brings me on to the next section, which is generating more sales. And how important really is the consultation, the initial part of generating leads from a website. What do you really cover in that section of the book, Dori?
Yes. So actually, that's my favorite thing to teach. This is part of the business model that we actually explain and help people implement. And one of my favorite things is the consultation process. We have a problem in our industry. And the problem is a lot of people think a la carte. So here's a scenario for you. Somebody calls up, says, I want Botox. So we reserve the Botox. They come in. We do the consultation only for the Botox. We do the treatment and then they leave. We are leaving so much money on the table. It's ridiculous. So I refuse to teach someone to just do a la carte consultations. That's not very smart. So what we teach instead, we have a system for it called the sacred system, which I talk about in the book. And what we do is no matter what they called in for, the goal is to do a consultation from head to toe. We need to sit down with that person, find out everything that they would like to improve, and then customize a program for them that will add up to thousands of dollars. Then we do the program. Then we turn them into a membership VIP program client. So if they take them through that cycle from lead to full-blown consultation to customized programs, and then once we finish the customized program, we lead them into a lifetime client. Now we're maximizing revenue. But the other problem we have as far as revenue generation is retail sales. They are just horrible. They could be so much better. They're leaving so much money again on the table. So not only should we customize a program for treatments, but we should also customize a program for home. So now we're giving them everything that they need. They're getting the best results. You're making the most amount of money, and everybody wins. But it's so sad to me to see the winging it factor. Everybody's winging it. They don't have those systems in place and measure those systems and then benefit from the results.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think, again, we all get so busy when, in the clinics that we forget to really sort of reflect on, what is actually working and then doing more of that. I think that's really the key. And look, it is complicated, like for a lot of business owners, even complicated for me. I mean, I have, certain people in our team that, I've got developers that are doing one thing, social media people that are doing others. But again, just putting a map together of everything in terms of, if there's scripts, how do the employees really maximize and add value to every client that walks in that door and walks out, and, taking it away from that feeling like you're selling to someone, but actually more around you're adding value to them. You're there to give them better results. And that's what it's all about. And that's what you've really put in that book. So I suppose that really leads me into that last section, which is building a high performance team, really sort of training the staff. How important is it to train and motivate our employees on a regular basis?
That's what it's all about at the end of the day, because no matter how good you are, if your team is not trained, you don't have the training material for them. You don't have the audios, the webinars, the manuals. It's amazing to me when we first start working with someone, I would ask, okay, where are your training manuals? Where are your onboarding process? Where's your orientation manual? And it's amazing to me how many people do not take the time to really develop those tools. But then again, that's why so many people end up coming to us, because we have all these things. Frankly, we have perfected that business model. So everything that they need is all like right there, they can access. But I have a saying that I say all the time, Stephen. So they say, oh, what about if I train my team and they leave? I say, imagine not training them and them staying. Not a good situation.
That's true.
So training, to me, one thing we teach during actually the Leap Ahead seminar is you should have a training curriculum for really a quarter at a time for clinical. And by the way, I want to give credit because they do good clinical training, but then they don't teach the team the business training, business side of the business. They don't teach them how to upgrade. They don't teach them how to recommend home care products. They don't teach them how to promote the VIP program and sell more memberships. See, if you don't give your team the language that they need to use and the scripts that they need to make sure that they're making sense, then they're going to create their own. And God knows their own may not be as good as structured training. And that's why when you're opening, you talked about the 4 S's we teach. I am all about systems and structure. And if you don't have systems in place, then you have no consistency, no accuracy, and no growth. When you have good, solid structure, systems, solutions, and strategies, then you're guaranteeing your success because you know these things work. So then your job as a leader is only to monitor and make sure that these systems are implemented properly and that they're followed through. And that's why I love secret shopping, where you send in your secret shopper to see whether the team is sticking to those systems and structures that you have put in place. And that's the problem, Stephen. You hit it on the head when you said they don't have time, they're busy. It's amazing to me. It's true, everybody is busy, but unless you assign that important task to someone to do, then it's not going to get done. And that's what so many people love about being a member with us, is that we provide them with all these tools that they need to succeed.
Well, Dori, that just leads me on to your Leap Ahead series that's coming up starting next week. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you're going to be covering in that webinar series?
So first of all, I want to say thank you to you and your team, because we are doing the Leap Ahead virtually with the help of Steven. I'm sure many of you have attended the GVAS conference that he did online last year and was a big success, and doing it again this year in October, right?
November, yeah.
November. Yep. And it's going to be so cool because it's not just the typical Zoom meeting like we're doing right now. And his team has been wonderful in helping us create it. So the Leap Ahead virtual event, it used to be a 3-day in-person event, but with the help of Steven and his team, we're able to take it virtually and make it exciting and engaging. So starting Monday, we're going to have our first module. But as a whole, really, the event is designed to provide entrepreneurs and physicians with the best business model. So everything in the book is going to come to life in the virtual event. They're going to get to hear it out and expand it upon. And they're going to be able to receive tools. They're going to get their budget. They're going to get their compensation model. They're going to receive the don't sell, recommend, the team building with clarity. So we're going to give them the tools to go and implement. So it's not your typical event where you just show up, you take some notes and leave. We're actually giving you the tools to be able to implement it and start seeing results immediately. It's my favorite seminar to do. It's an amazing experience.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited, and it's good that you're spacing it out, over a number of different weeks, and so it's going to be exciting, putting it on our new virtual platform, be able to have chats with Dori throughout, and super exciting. So that's great. So make sure everyone, don't miss out on that. Make sure you sign up on that, and make sure you get your copy of the book. For $1. Why wouldn't you order a book for $1, especially with all those?
Make sure you go and leave a review.
Yeah, please make sure. Yeah, reviews are so important. And I always know the quality that you bring to everything that you do, Dori. So super excited for everyone else that hasn't picked up a book or attended one of your events to really sort of encourage everyone to get involved. And as Dori mentioned, our big global virtual aesthetic summit, GVAS, being the very first to do it in the aesthetic market last year. We did a very small one in May, but our real big event is going to be November 14th and 15th. We've got up to 20 CMEs. There will be 20 to 30 really good practical hands-on workshops with injectors from all over the world. We've got an extender program, a business program, and Dori has been kind enough to be the director of our whole business global program for GVAS as well. We have our 3D cadaver anatomy workshops, and then we've got local programs running in different languages that we're going to try and translate for everyone in China, South Africa, Latin America, Brazil, South Africa. So a very, very big program that would be very expensive to travel to all of these different countries to see it, but we're bringing it to you in a very cool virtual format. I won't tell you exactly how we're doing. It's not going to look like a conference, but just think intergalactic. That's the experience we're going to bring. So
yeah, it's very cool. I did a webinar for people who are watching. I did a webinar with Steven. It's on globalmedspa-association.com about innovation, adaptation, and implementation. And we talked about some of the new programs that he's also launching, like being able to do a virtual event for your med spa. So I am so excited. And that's why I love being around people that are innovators, because the more you surround yourself with people like this, the better off you're going to be. And you should go watch that webinar. It was a really good webinar, and we showed some pictures of what the GVAS event was all about. And it's fun to do great things, isn't it? It makes you feel so good, accomplished. And today we're doing a book gathering after this. I would love to invite everybody to come. I don't call it the book club. Ours is called the book gathering. So we go through different books and discuss things that you can help with innovation, adaptation, and implementation. Right now, where we are in this world, you've got to adapt. You've got to pivot. You have to make changes. And that's why if you're feeling stuck right now, or if you feel that you really need some kind of a guidance to pull you through and make sure that you have insurance for future disruptions, then definitely reach out to firms that can help you establish that and have that insurance. I just want to add one more thing we did not talk about, Stephen, and that's how important it is to have a reoccurring revenue model. I have to tell you, during the coronavirus, we had so many members that were still profitable because they had that automated process in place to actually generate revenue all the time, just like I do. Our members pay us monthly. So I am just so excited for so many people that they went ahead and implemented that model. And if you don't have that model now is the time to implement it. So God forbid, if something happens again like this, you have that insurance against business disruptions. So those are the things that you have to continually innovate as an entrepreneur so you can really grow your business exponentially.
Great. Well, it's super exciting to interview Dori, and as I say, like, well done on all your achievements. And yeah,
you too.
Oh, thank you. I think I'll be looking at that lecture or seminar on how to write my own book. I've been meaning to do it for quite some time. So,
well, you're invited. I'll take good care of you, Stephen.
Great.
For that one, I'll get you published in no time at all.
Excellent. I appreciate it. No, well done, and thank you all of you for watching. And yeah, look forward to next week's Leap Ahead.
Yes, me too. So if you want to check that out, it's on InSPArationManagement.com, and make sure that you go and check out GVAS, Face and Body, and join us for the virtual event in November. I'm going to come up with some great business classes, as well as have a whole faculty members from all over the world that are also going to do all sorts of great classes. And then the other thing Stephen has is the awards. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, the MyFaceMyBody Awards is still open. You can enter your med spa and practice. It's a global event, so we have awards for US med spas, practitioners, for brands, and then also our international award programs. And then you can really compete. You can be a US winner, but you can also be a global winner as well. So myfacemybody.com/awards. Check out all the different categories there.
That's
so
you're
a global judge, Dori, aren't you?
Yes, I know. I love it. So submit.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much for having me, Stephen. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Great. Thanks, Dori. Cheers.
Thanks. See you next time. Bye.